For this sample lesson, I worked with Katherine Preu, and we worked on the topic of pronunciation of vowels and consonants with the English proficiency aimed towards early production students. So we picked the standard SP.PK.12.SA.3.1 to discriminate, identify, and produce sounds correctly in words and connected in speech in a meaningful way. And so we're aimed towards the younger students since we're in kindergarten and first grade. And the objective that they would be is that they would be able to accurately enunciate the various sounds of the alphabet individually from other letters. So other than just knowing the 26 letters, they will also understand that each letter has its own sound and be able to identify what that sound is. And then they will also be able to accurately emphasize the appropriate portion of the word, which is something we did with an activity of creating words. So for beginning the lesson, we would start on a circle in the carpet, and we would have them go through the alphabet, but instead of saying the letters, they would say the letter sounds. And then we would go around and say our name, but instead of saying the letters to spell it, we would say the letter sounds. So I would say, my name is Bethany, B-E-T-H-A-N-I, Bethany. And then after that, we would go into doing our favorite animal. So we could give the students a whiteboard with a dry erase marker so that they could spell their animal correctly first. And we could make sure that they spelled the word correctly, and for those who can't spell the animal, we could help them. So they would say their animal, and after everyone's was spelled correctly, they would go around individually and spell it in sounds. So if I said my favorite animal was a pig, I would go P-E-G. And then to make it more inclusive for the group and make sure that everybody is getting to practice and they're doing repetition and they're able to use different letters as opposed to just the letters of their animal, everyone would repeat back. They would say pig, P-E-G. And then we would go back to their tables and to do a worksheet activity where we would give them a list of words with the UG ending and the OG ending. Well, we wouldn't give them the words, we would give them that and a list of letters like that. So for UG, we have P, SN, PL, SL, and CH. So they're working with individual letters as well as with blends. So they would, as a group, we would say, okay, now put the P. And they would find that and put it and see that it's P-G. And we could say, okay, now replace the P with SN. So that they're able to understand, okay, I'm taking that letter sound and able to identify the letter and see from the list what sound SN makes, which would be the SN. And then to finish that, we would give them an exit ticket where we would have them write their name on it along with their favorite animal, and then the word that they had made. So for UG, they could write hug, and for OP, they could write stop. And then that way we could see if students were able to identify the letter sounds and make the correct words, see who had words like hug and who had a word like OUG because they just made words. We could actually see what students were understanding and what students weren't. And then we could also be assessing them during in their circle to see who was correctly identifying the letters, who wasn't participating when we use certain words, certain letters, so we could identify where the comfort level is and whatnot.